Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join today. Before we begin our virtual university webinar, I'd like to remind everyone that all lines will be muted as we are recording this session. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please note the panel to the right, name questions. You can expand the panel, type your questions, and they'll be addressed at the end of the presentation. Without further ado, please welcome Eric Fortney and enjoy this presentation on easy, fast, and profitable insurance.
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate everybody taking time from their busy schedules to be with us on this session. Thank you to Amanda and Money Concepts for having me here today. And today, really, we're going to talk about some of the tools that are available to you for adding and increasing insurance and insurance sales in your practice, and how those tools can make insurance annuities easy, fast, and profitable for you and your business. We're going to go through a number of things today. We're going to talk about the tools that we have available on our website. We're going to talk about the need to protect against the next big downturn in the market, as well as the need for protection on your client's income, and ultimately how we can use insurance to help protect your own asset base in your own business for generations to come. So as we get started, there's a few things I am going to ask that we take a look at, and those are the three of the handouts that are attached. And if you wouldn't mind pulling those up, these are items that many of you have seen before. We're going to start with the approved carrier list. This is a piece that is nice. It's something you've seen before. We've had it at all of the conferences and have been handouts in meetings that we've done before. I normally introduce us as a full service FMO, but I get asked questions, what does that really mean? And as you can see, we've got 35 different insurance companies at our disposal across all different lines of insurance. So that's the life insurance, long-term care insurance, disability insurance, linked benefits, as well as annuities. And we're able to, by having the stable of carriers, we're able to really help you take a look at your clients from a holistic point of view and identify avenues that other advisors and other marketing organizations may not be able to identify because of a limited scope that they have access to. The next piece that I want to pull up is titled, Let Us Do It. For advisors that are new to working with us, I find this is a very nice piece for them to use and to identify what additional resources that we're able to provide for you. We're able to partner with you and provide everything from front-end concept and illustrations to back-end service such as case management and scrubbing of applications. So as we look at that, this is just kind of a high-level overview of what other tools and resources we do have for your reference for later on. The last piece that I'm going to bring up is, unfortunately, it didn't attach correctly. So this is an overview of our website. This is one piece that, and at the end of this, Amanda will work with you and I will work with you as well to email this out or get you a PDF copy or a printed copy of it. This is going to be a good reference point for the different tools we're going to talk about today and how can you integrate those in your business and how are they going to help out with you and your practice. So as we head, here we go. As we head to our website, and this is really, we've built our website of a very user-friendly, focused experience. We're going to look at a few different key areas on our website. We're going to look at everything here in this agent toolbox. We're going to look at the annuity products. We're going to look at the forms, as well as the insurance quote, and ultimately the Easy Insurance platform that we just launched a couple months ago. One of the biggest questions we get in our office has to do with annuity interest rates. Where are interest rates? And really what it comes down to is having these tools and resources available at your disposal. If we take a step back and we look at what the two fundamentals the two basic fundamentals of a financial advisor and what they have to their clients. If we strip away all the static and the noise, you come up with growing assets and protecting assets. That's really the core of our job and your job, is to help clients get to the next level, to get to financial security, and to stay there. And everybody on this call and everybody inside Money Concepts has done a wonderful job and an outstanding job of growing your clients' assets. And your clients wouldn't be with you if you weren't doing a great job of it. Unfortunately, a big shortfall among the entire industry, not just at Money Concepts, but industry-wide, is not enough advisors focus on the protection of the assets. And that's where we're able to help you and your business, and keep your business running at its most efficient, and protect those clients when markets do change and when assets do transition from one generation to the next. We're able to help identify pitfalls for you. And really, we're able to help plan for immediate needs, 5 years, 10 years, and even next generations. Right now, one of the pitfalls that we have seen has to do with, and I'm going to pull up a different PDF here, has to do with this inflection point chart that's up on your screen, having to do with the S&P 500. You have seen this, I have seen this, and right now it paints a very good picture as to why we should be looking to transition part of our clients' assets from variables into indexed and fixed annuities. And we are sitting at a 9-year high, an all-time high in the market. We've been on a 9-year bull market, up 302%. And it makes sense right now to take some assets off the table and lock in the gain that your clients have realized by utilizing annuities and indexed annuities. Indexed annuities can still give your clients a significant increase when markets go up, but no loss when the markets come down. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. In 2008 and 2009, when the market pulled back, your clients had more time than they do today in order to make that loss up. So we're really talking a lot with advisors about transitioning some of their block of business over to fixed products and fixed annuities. And one area that we can see that and help you identify what the current rates are is, in addition to the emails we send out, we have a search engine built in to our website. When you log into our website, and anybody who does use our website is going to need a login. We're going to be transitioning before the end of the year to unique logins, and we're going to be working with single sign-on. But for the time being, it's a generic login for Money Concepts. And if everybody would write down your login and password, it's the login ID is Money Concepts with a capital M and a capital C, all one word. So it's Money Concepts, all one word, capital M, capital C. The password is all lowercase. It's Eagles, the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3. And you'll be able to access many of our tools by using that. As I access the Annuity Rate Watch, this is a very powerful area as your immediate opening page. You will see over here on the right-hand side, it will talk about any upcoming rate changes that have been announced. Looks like September 8th, we're looking at a rate change from Athene. But I use this, and the people in our office use this tool under the MYGA, which stands for Multi-Year Guaranteed Annuity, Fixed, and Fixed Indexed, to search based on criteria for your client. So when you call our office and ask what the best 5-year rate is, this is where we go. And I know there are times that people are trying to reach us and we're busy or we're not available at the moment. So I want to show you how to be able to access this information yourself. And all the search engines work very similarly, and I'm going to take you through one right now. So if we go down to Multi-Year Guaranteed Annuity Search, and I've got the state of Wisconsin, and if we're working with a client that has $250,000 that's 77 years old, and we're looking for a 7-year rate guarantee or less, we know the client doesn't want to go out beyond that, we can fill out these fields and it'll give us a targeted result. Now we can add more filters in, and it'll give us a more targeted result. Right now, being at $250,000 in premium, we're not going to see anything that's available at a $500,000 or $300,000 and higher deposit amount. And this will give you all the information you need for your annuity sales. It will band it out based on years. So here's a 7-year rate. As we scroll down, you can see the 6-year rate, and below the 6-year rate is the 5-year rates as well. In addition to being banded by years, they're sorted with the highest rate at the top. And there's additional information here that's often critical and important to you and your client, such as maximum issue age, minimum deposit amount, and the withdrawal percentages. This one happens to have interest only in the first year and 10% years 2 and beyond. And that's all in addition to the guaranteed interest rate that the policy is paying. This one is paying 4.1% for all 7 years. The fixed and fixed index also have filters along these lines and search functions. So as you're meeting with your clients and you're trying to identify what the best rates are out there, this is a very powerful tool for you to be able to use in determining that for your clients. Whenever you've opened up a tool on our website, if you click on the white eagle that's in the upper left-hand corner, that will always bring you back to our main page where you can access the rest of the tools. I'm going to transition and open up, after we talk to the client about an annuity, we do need to access the forms. And the forms can be accessed right next to the annuity search engine. And of course, I knew this would come in. And that is one of the reasons that we're moving to single sign-on, to eliminate additional logins. It's been recent that the forms provider has started to require a login, and that's one of the reasons we're looking to do that. Once you're in, you're able to select based on carrier. It's all based on drop-downs, the service type, what state you're in, as well as what is the product that you're working with, and the name. And once we click search, it's going to pull up a list of recommended, or a list of the documentation that we do need for an annuity sale. Now, we are working with Money Concepts to add Money Concepts specific forms to this website. So for the time being, you will need to still get your Money Concepts specific forms from the avenues that you do, and you can come here to get the carrier's forms. What's nice about this is you can click on the red Remove from Package button, and it will remove it from the package over on the right-hand side. You will see that that has now become a green button with a plus sign in it. If you click on that, it adds it back to the package. That's a great way if you've got supplemental forms that you know you're going to need with life insurance, if you know you need an aviation questionnaire, or with annuities if you know you need to set up an RMD. Those aren't going to be part of the main packet. You can add those, and those forms can be found underneath the pre-selected ones. If you only need to look at one form, such as an annuity application, if you've made an error on it, you're able to click the blue form number, and it will pull up simply that one form for you, and you'll be able to fill that out and submit that as well. You can email or print the packet from this screen as well. The next avenue I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the life insurance quoting tool. This we are working to integrate with our Easy Insurance platform. We moved to this tool about 5 months ago from our previous vendor, and we did it out of convenience. You've got more access to more products that you're able to quote yourself. And I'm going to leave everything defaulted in here, January 1st of 1960. but you've got the ability to not only quote term life on here, which is what our old engine did as well, but they only did term. You're able to look at simplified issue if you've got a client that's hesitant about doing some medical exams. You've got return of premium for those clients typically buy sell cases where they want to make sure that they're going to get their premium back if they end up not passing away. And you've got the ability to have guaranteed universal life as part of your options as well. And the nice part is you're able to select multiples and compare them for your clients. And you're able to email the comparison to your clients or print it for your files. So if we look, here's the 10-year term, the 20-year term, and the universal life. And I know we were just working on a case where a client was debating between 20-year term and universal life. This is an outstanding way to present the two side by side. You have the ability to not only pull an application packet, but you can email or text the quote to the client as well. So as the younger generation starts to become more mainstream, they're wanting to connect in more non-traditional ways. And they're not always wanting a face-to-face or an email. Some of the younger generation is wanting to be to receive text messages on items like this. So this gives you the ability to reach out and communicate with your client in the fashion that they prefer. You can request a standard application packet or click on the new business forms over here. Again, this is something that we are working to integrate Money Concepts specific forms into. One last area that I do want to talk about is our Easy Insurance platform. And this is really where we're getting a lot of excitement and a lot of business through. We unrolled this really at the Money Concepts conference in Vail. We launched it. This is a trademarked application process. So we're the only ones out there with the Easy Insurance platform. It does allow for, we've got 7 carriers on board right now, and you can see all of their names. It's AIG, Banner, John Hancock, Mutual of Omaha, Pacific Life, Protective, and SBLI at the moment. We are in talks currently with 4 additional carriers and are hoping to have some, if not all of them, live and ready for you before the end of the year. So this is a very robust system. It is an avenue that will make insurance easy, fast, and profitable for you. And I guess, Amanda, if you could go ahead and at this time, I've got a few questions that I want to poll the audience with. Poll must be, okay.
The poll is
all right,
now open.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We have about 23% who voted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll.
All right, I appreciate that. So it looks like about 71% represent themselves as financial planners, CPAs, something along those lines. Amanda, could you go ahead and open up the second poll question? And the second poll question is, who has sold a life insurance policy in the last year?
Okay. About 70% voted. I'll go ahead and close the poll.
Okay. And let's go ahead and open up the last question we have, which really revolves around your thoughts on insurance. You know, how do you view insurance and adding it to your practice? Do you view it as a revenue source, as a kind of a pain in the butt, or it's a pain in the butt, but it does pay the bills, and it's a necessary evil?
All right. Go ahead and close this poll. And
okay.
Share.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody for your responses on that. This is not too far off, and there's 71% of the people on the call represent themselves as financial planners, and 29% of the people on the call haven't written a policy in the last year, and 62% have written 1 to 10 policies. And the responses on that were, about a quarter of you said it's a revenue source, 65% of you said, hey, it's both a pain in the butt and a revenue source, and 14 just said, I really don't care for it. It's really kind of a pain. That's how I view insurance. And that's not too dissimilar to what we've found throughout the industry. I will give you a word of caution at this point. If you are putting yourself out there as a planner and you're not at least having the conversation with your clients of insurance, whether that's life insurance or long-term care insurance, some of the biggest challenges to their assets and getting money from one generation to the next, you may be opening yourself up to some risk and some liability. I would at least start incorporating the conversation and having a way to show that you did that. If anybody would like, after the call, my last screen is going to be a contact information, and I'm going to ask if anybody would like any of the materials that I'm talking about today, go ahead and email me. We'll get those out to you. But one that I don't have here is a non-sale letter. I've got an example that I can send you, but it essentially says that Mrs. Smith and we had sat down and talked about insurance, and you're choosing not to purchase it for whatever reasons. And it's something, it's not going to be a be-all, end-all safety shield, but it'll at least be something to stand on in the event that a beneficiary gets upset that mom didn't have insurance or didn't have long-term care. You've got a way to defend yourself. But getting back to the easy insurance process, the reason we developed this was we were seeing that financial planners really were not utilizing insurance in their practice the way that it should be. And just conversations with Barry and Dennis have told me that the revenue, the GDC, is in the 2 to 3% range of GDC at Money Concepts is going into insurance. So it's something we needed to focus. And as we talked to advisors about why isn't this a bigger part of your plan or a bigger part of your business, they came back with really 3 key areas that we focused on. And one, insurance took too much time. From the start to the finish, the application, the underwriting, it took too much time. It took too much time to sit with the client for an hour to do a term app. It didn't produce enough in compensation for the time that the advisors were taking. To take 2.5 hours, meet with the client for an hour, prepare for an hour, review an app, drive, travel for $40 a month just didn't make much sense. And it was difficult to do, and it just became not profitable. And when we pressed some advisors and would ask, hey, what are you doing then for your clients when they have an insurance need? We were told numerous times that they were referring them out to somebody else, like a State Farm. And that is not necessarily the best thought, because State Farm is in the investment industry. Your property and casualty people are in the investment industry. And your true insurance people do have licenses for other avenues also. So we've worked on a way to bring this insurance in-house. And I am going to take you through an application to show you how easy this process really is. Because we have made insurance through this process easy, fast, and profitable once again. So how we start is we click on the Easy Insurance icon here on our website. And if you're not registered, you can click this link and register. It's a fast registration process. It needs your name, your social, and your email address to get registered, and that's it. I am already registered. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And we're going to run a live case here. We're going to look at the state of Wisconsin. We're going to look at somebody with a date of birth of April 11th, 1974, a female, non-tobacco, at a preferred health class, and we're going to look at 20-year insurance. We're going to look for $1 million in coverage. And we're going to do it monthly. Okay. That's not an uncommon request in our industry. We're going to search for it. It's going to take a little while to generate. But what's nice about this is it's not only going to give you the health class that you requested, it's also going to show you what the health class below it will be, such as a standard plus and a standard. So you've got the ability, if you're not sure how healthy they are, to at least set the stage for what the different premiums will be. We're going to look at protective life in this example, and we can look at a rate analyzer or do traditional forms, but there's no point in doing that because they're part of the drop ticket, the Easy Insurance platform. We're going to open up the Easy Insurance ticket, and any box that is yellow needs to be filled in. It's going to check it for content, not accuracy. So if you are putting in a client social in this box here, and you type all ones, it will show, you'll see that white box that will go away as being yellow. So it's going to validate that the form is filled out in an acceptable format. It's not going to know whether it's correct or not. So I'm going to go ahead and not fill all of this out because everybody can see what this is. It's going to ask me if I want to come back later and finish it. Okay, it's going to ask if we want to add a beneficiary, and do we want to add a contingent beneficiary? It's going to re-verify the information we have, ask if there's any riders we want, like a child term rider, or a waiver of premium, or an accidental death benefit. If there's any special requests, we can input it there. It's going to ask if we're replacing a policy, if the client has existing insurance, is there an application somewhere else, and have they ever been declined? Okay. And every carrier is going to be a little different as far as what they ask for and what they need. We're not going to do conditional coverage. It's going to ask me my relationship with the proposed insured and ask me to verify some information very similar to a traditional application. We're going to do monthly pre-authorized check for $76 a month. And at this point, we've got 3 areas that need to be refilled out. Had we taken the time and filled out name and address and beneficiary information, it would come up with a screen that says submit to carrier. That is literally how long it takes nowadays through this Easy Insurance process to submit a life insurance application. It's a very easy, very quick, very profitable way for you to do the insurance. The nice part about this is you don't have to travel an hour or a half hour to meet a client. You can do this over the phone with the client. The client can be on, you can send them out a questionnaire and have them fill that out and send it back to you, and you can input that into the system. So it is something that has lifted the burden of time off of you. We do have, our biggest question we have on the system is, well, what does the client need to do? Well, we took about 10 or 15 minutes, is what this whole process would take to submit the app, but the client's going to end up having to take a telephone interview, which they should plan about 30 minutes for, and they may or may not need to take a paramedical exam, just like traditional insurance. And I'm going to pull up in the handout section. There is a piece in here which I have. It's one of the best in the industry. It is actually branded through Banner Life, but on the left-hand side of the page, it talks about how to prepare your client for the telephone interview. The bullet pages down here at the bottom, or down here about halfway down the page, bullet point out the different things to have on hand. The right-hand side of the page is what they need to have ready if they have to do a paramedical exam as well, where they're going to have an examiner come out, height and weight and blood pressure checks. Okay, this is a great piece to have on hand. It's a great piece to have for your clients and be able to use as a resource. And that's really how the Easy Insurance platform works. That drops back, it submits it directly to the carrier and to ourselves, drops into our traditional case management system where we are doing our weekly follow-ups and notifying you where your cases are on a weekly basis. One of the best sales tools that I can think of when it comes to the Easy Insurance platform has to do with protecting your business. Okay, if you have think about your typical type A client, okay? And while you're thinking about the client, I'm going to tell you that the biggest threat to your individual business, your asset base, has to do with money leaving at the death of your client, going to another advisor, okay? That can be going to another spouse or even to the children, because the majority of the time, the spouse and children do not have you as their advisor. They have their own advisor. And you can use the Easy Insurance platform in order to help help build that relationship with that next generation. And if you think about your typical client, I would be willing to bet that your typical A client is in their mid-60s, early to mid-60s. They've got a decent amount of assets with you. They're nearing retirement. I will also be fairly confident in the fact that they also have a mid-20s to early 30s children. And what happens to children in their mid-20s to early 30s? They get married, they buy houses, they have kids. Those are all needs for insurance. Those are all avenues at which they need to protect themselves and their family going forward. And as small talk happens during your meetings and your client says, little Susie just got married or little Susie's just having their first child, it's not out of line for you as an advisor to say, could I reach out to Susie? Could you give me her phone number or ask her to reach out to me? I would really like to make sure that your grandchildren are protected, or your new son-in-law or daughter-in-law, as the case may be, is protected going forward. What grandfather, what parent is going to say, no, you can't do that? It gives you that way to sit down and in 10 to 15 minutes at least get some life insurance in place on the child, and lets you sit down to do your hour exploratory meeting and gives you a reason to reach back out to the client on an annual basis. Having that relationship when your client passes on to be in line to help manage that asset for the next generation will be critical in the survival of your business. One last thing I want to talk about on the Easy Insurance platform, we're really excited about this, is we have launched a mobile app. So for phones and tablets, you are able to go through, download on the either Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, search for Easy Insurance. We are not a sponsored ad. We are the first one underneath the sponsored ads, but download it. I'm not expecting everybody to be out playing tennis or golf and taking apps on the course, but there are times, and I've heard from advisor time and time again, if they would have had the app, they would have been able to take to write a policy because the client was ready at that time and they were having a hard time getting the client back in their office. It is the same process. It is the same 6 or 7 screens. It is the same telephone interview that the client will sit through. So it behooves you to download that app as soon as we get off the call here. I am going to bring up one more piece that we have found invaluable, and we've had advisors talk to us about how nice this piece is. It's called the My Wishes Record Keeper. It is branded by Mutual of Omaha and U.S. Marketing. This is a piece, and I do have a PDF here on the screen. We have these in booklet form. If you would like some of these, let me know. I will be happy to send some out. It is a 16-page booklet. The booklet's a little less than half a page, half of an 8.5 by 11, but it consolidates for the clients and for their family where it consolidates what assets they have, where they are at, who has their will, who are their attorneys, who are their financial advisors. It's a very nice piece to have as a value add for your clients. With that, why don't we go ahead and if anybody has questions, I know there's a spot to ask for questions. I know I've left you with some good ideas, some good tools, and some ways to protect your business. And I hope through the tools that you have identified how insurance has become easy, fast, and profitable once again.
Thanks, Eric. As a reminder to all of our guests, there is a section in your webinar panel titled Questions. Click on the arrow and expand the field and type your questions. And we also invite you to provide any feedback on this presentation and your experience today. So we'll give you guys a little bit of time here to type your questions, and if there aren't any questions, then we'll wrap it up. And thanks again.
I was going to say, everybody who gives feedback that Eric is an awesome presenter gets a high five next time I see you.
Well, Eric, you must have done a great job. It does not appear that there are any questions today.
Answered them all before they had a chance to ask them. Good deal. Good deal. Well, I appreciate everybody attending today. Again, Amanda, thank you for inviting me. Thank you to Money Concepts for hosting. We look forward to doing more business with you and becoming and maintaining our place as your partner in insurance.